secure, there's some part of me that thinks this is going to come undone and maybe swing. You know what I mean? There's also this way it alludes to something that isn't entirely secured in the past. I've been here all week as a visiting artist, and I've also been working with students all week from the art department. I've had an interesting trajectory. I initially was a visual artist, a painter, and I've also done performance for 20 years or more. And as a curator, I think about installations, which is also trying to tell a story through visual culture and objects and materiality. And all of those things have come together for me with a particular interest in the way that story functions and how materiality is a vessel, or objects are a vessel for personal stories or narratives. These are the stories that guide us: a song, a poem, a question. And there is a generosity in that reach towards another human, that compassion. In my time here, I also gave a lecture which began with my own story as a painter and a storyteller, and then a project that led me into called State of Exception, which presented objects left in the desert between Arizona and Mexico, documenting the migration of undocumented immigrants into the country. The work is really about how all of us as human beings have these stories and seek a better life. Think about that momentum, that gesture, that particular choice you might make to tell that story.
So what you're recording, everybody's taking a piece of that recording and making it their own, or chewing it for themselves. Oh. So I think we can tell a story that way.
You can do your story and he can
Kind of like a hack. They're showing me the hack.
That this has been replaced, so this is kind of feeling really interesting.
So everything basically starts here. It's not valued, it's black and white because it doesn't really mean much. But when it does start to get valued, it gets pushed further on, and it's more colorful because it's valued.
There were so many great ideas. What struck me initially was how generous these students were in wanting to talk about what mattered to them, what resonated for them emotionally, their attachments to story, to history, to family. A lot of these students had objects that spoke to family, to growing up, and what of their experiences growing up they carry with them. Others from international students were about how they leave objects behind and manage to create new lives in new places far away from home. Well, I hope I've given them a few more tools in their artist bag, I guess. That would be one thing. I'd like them to have confidence to take risks, to dream big. Remember that the student sitting next to them, get to know them. And it's actually the unique way that we all come together that really together we can do extraordinary things.